struggle. As she lifted the bag, Elena felt the weight of it: 2 blocks of cheese, a carton of milk, and several heavy cans of soup. She winced, but she grinned at him. These groceries seemed like they could feed an army. She joked, her laughter momentarily breaking through her worries. As they loaded the bags into the trunk, he shared bits about his life. "My wife used to help with this," he said, his voice thick with nostalgia. "She passed a few years ago, and things have been different since then." Elena nodded, feeling a warmth in her chest. She couldn't imagine losing someone so close. The thought of her own family and the struggles they faced landed heavily on her mind. She sensed something bigger in their exchange, a moment of shared humanity that touched both of their lives. "Thank you, sweetheart," he said, sliding into his car seat. "You know, it's small things like this that remind me the world isn't so cold." "You're welcome," she replied, taking a step back. "It's easy to forget the importance of kindness, especially when times are tough." As he drove away, waving before turning the corner, Elena felt a flicker of hope. Just a few minutes spent helping someone else had made her heart feel lighter. It was a stark contrast to the weight of her own struggles pressing against her soul each day. Watching him disappear, she thought of how hard it was to make ends meet, and how easy it was to feel lost in the noise of the daily grind. Yet in that brief moment, the act of kindness had sparked a warmth she hadn't known she was missing. Elena turned and headed home, reflecting on how often life's challenges seemed overwhelming. As she walked through her front door, she was met by the familiar sight of bills spread across the kitchen table. Taking a deep breath, she made a mental note to start applying for other jobs, anything to ease the financial burden. But first, she decided to reassess what kindness meant to her, to remember that even small acts mattered. What she didn't realize was that this moment wasn't just a mere encounter. It was the first step on a path that would lead her not only to a newfound purpose but also to unexpected opportunities that would change her life forever. The following week brought unexpected news to Elena. On a bright Tuesday morning, she was busy stacking canned goods when she saw her boss, James, waving her over with a smile. "Elena, can you step into my office for a moment?" he called out. She paused, feeling her stomach churn with uncertainty. Had she done something wrong? Walking into the cramped office felt like stepping into a lion's den. But when she closed the door behind her and sat down, James looked more pleased than concerned. "Listen, I heard something incredible," he began, leaning back in his chair. "You helped Mr. Thompson the other day. He mentioned it to me. Said you were an angel." Elena felt her cheeks warm. A simple favor hardly warranted such attention, but there was a twinge of pride that stirred within her. James continued, "He's been coming here for years and is well known in the community. Turns out he's starting a charity to help seniors in need, and he needs a right hand to get it off the ground. He thought you'd be perfect for the job." Her heart raced. "What does that mean?" she asked cautiously. "He wants to offer you a part-time position with a decent salary. It would be a solid commitment and change your financial landscape significantly. Plus, you can still keep your job here, if you want," he said, offering a warm smile. "It pays $20 an hour." Elena couldn't believe what she was hearing. This was the financial shift she had hoped for. A position that meant she could finally breathe a little easier, maybe even begin to think about her debts instead of merely surviving. "Are you serious?" she asked, feeling hope swell in her chest. "Dead serious," James confirmed. "He'll make you an official hire by the end of the week if you're interested." "Yes, absolutely. I'd love to," she exclaimed, her voice bubbling with excitement. A few days later, she found herself sitting across from Mr. Thompson in a warm, inviting living room. The walls were lined with photos of happy families and past events he had hosted for the elderly community. "Thank you for coming, Elena. I was impressed with your compassion," he said, his eyes sparkling with warmth. "These days, every hand helps. We want to ensure that no one feels abandoned." Her heart swelled as he continued. They mapped out plans for the charity, discussing everything from fundraisers to food deliveries. Elena engaged with ideas, her voice rising with enthusiasm as she shared her thoughts. Weeks turned to months, and as the charity flourished under their guidance, something remarkable happened. Mr. Thompson started to notice the impact Elena had on the elderly community around them. With his guidance, the charity expanded, offering more opportunities to engage with local senior citizens. One day, as they sorted donations, Mr. Thompson handed her an envelope. "Open it," he encouraged, his face glowing with pride. Inside was a check for $1,500. "This is for you. As a thank you for your dedication and hard work. We couldn't have done this without you," he said, filling the space with heartfelt sincerity. Elena's hands trembled as she held the check, her eyes brimming with tears. It was real. She felt weight lift off her shoulders, all thanks to a small act of kindness done months earlier. "Mr. Thompson, I thank you so much, but I can't accept this," she stuttered, feeling overwhelmed. "Of course you can. You deserve it. You're building something wonderful here," he reassured her gently. "Consider it your share of helping our community thrive." In that moment, Elena realized how interconnected kindness was. Her single act had opened doors she never imagined. As she walked to her car that day, she reflected on how deeply intertwined their lives had become. Not only was she earning more, but she also felt empowered to help others too. Inspired, she started to donate her free time to other local initiatives, picking up shifts at the charity or running food drives. With the extra money from Mr. Thompson and her steadfast determination, she began to pay down her debts little by little. She worked tirelessly, but her spirits were high, veering away from toil toward a sense of endless possibilities. Then came another unexpected twist. One evening, as she finished a food delivery for the charity, a woman approached her, visibly in distress. "Oh, I'm so sorry to bother you," she explained. "My car broke down and I don't have the funds to fix it. I was just picking up medication." Elena's heart ached for her. "Let me see how I can help," she offered, thinking of her recent financial windfall and the ability to make a difference. Together, they joined forces. Not only did Elena help the woman get to her doctor's appointment, she realized repairing someone's source of mobility and independence was crucial. With the check from Mr. Thompson still fresh in her mind, she offered to help cover the repairs with the woman's promise to pay it back whenever she could. Within days, the car was fixed. The woman glowed with gratitude as Elena waved her away. "Just pay it forward," she said, her heart swelling once again, knowing that she had given life to kindness. As weeks turned into familiarity, the woman returned to Elena with a check for $1,200, the repairs covered, and a little extra. "Thank you," she said with tears of joy in her eyes. "You saved me." Elena accepted it graciously. But there was more to this story than a monetary exchange. The ripple effect was palpable. Gratitude spread, infusing warmth through their little town. Every belly fed, every task completed out of goodwill reverberated in ways she couldn't have imagined. Elena knew the journey of kindness never ended. It was an ongoing circle, always finding its way back to those who spread it. She reflected on how one act led to multiple opportunities, not just for her but for others as well. Looking ahead, she felt proud. Yes, it had all started with a simple act of carrying groceries. And its path had led to something meaningful, transforming lives, including her own. It opened her eyes to a world where hardship mirrored possibilities, and hope blossomed through goodwill, allowing not just a change in finance but a change in perspective. And every time she saw Mr. Thompson, or that woman, or anyone from the community, she knew they were connected. Every smile shared, every hand held in times of need created an invisible thread binding them all, changing lives in ways no one could quantify, except through the kindness that flowed unrelentingly from one heart to another. Months passed since Elena had started working with Mr. Thompson at the charity, and she found herself in a place she had only dreamt of before. Not only was she able to pay off her debts, but she was also gaining new friends and connections along the way. The sense of community she craved burgeoned in unexpected ways. One day, as they were sorting through donations in the empty office, Mr. Thompson peered over at her with a look of determination. Elena, we need to expand our reach. I've been thinking of starting a mentorship program for the younger adults in our community. Elena's heart leapt at the idea. That sounds wonderful. We could pair them with seniors who have lived through so much and learned valuable lessons. They could help each other. Mr. Thompson nodded, his excitement matching hers as they began brainstorming details together. Elena felt a sense of purpose wash over her. Together, they quickly got to work, outlining ideas and drafting plans. After a few days of planning, they announced the program. The response from the community was immediate and heartening. Younger people showed up eager to learn from the elders, who were equally thrilled to share their life experiences. Each session buzzed with laughter, stories, and wisdom exchanged, creating bonds across generations. Elena thrived in her role, balancing her time between coordinating the charity and running the mentorship program. She felt fulfilled, helping others while ensuring her own growth and stability. Each week offered new surprises, and each week she learned more about gratitude and connection. One day, she facilitated a storytelling session where seniors shared their life lessons, like resilience, love, and the power of kindness. When it was Elena's turn to speak, she was hesitant. But finding her voice, she shared her personal journey, the struggles, the chance encounter with Mr. Thompson, and how her life changed when she helped him with his groceries. The room fell silent, every eye on her, absorbing her words. It truly takes just one moment, one act of kindness, to open doors you never knew existed. This program is proof that we all have something to offer, regardless of our age or experience, she finished, feeling the warmth of support. As the program grew, Elena and Mr. Thompson decided to host a community fair, an event aimed at showcasing their achievements and involving more people. With the guidance of the younger mentors and the stories of the seniors, they planned activities from cooking classes to art displays. Weeks filled with preparation turned into one beautiful day in the heart of their town. The fair drew in families and individuals, filling the park with laughter and cheer. Everyone gathered around to hear the stories they had crafted together, each one testament to the powerful connections made through kindness. Elena watched people share, laugh, and participate, thinking back to that rainy day when she'd first helped Mr. Thompson. It amazed her to realize how one small, simple gesture had turned into something larger than herself, transforming lives in ways she never expected. As she was busy ensuring everything ran smoothly at the fair, a familiar face approached her. It was the woman she had helped with the car repairs. "Elena, I have to thank you for everything. My life is genuinely better now because of the job I was able to get after repairs. I can't believe how far I've come." Elena smiled, her heart swelling with pride. "You did all the hard work. I just made sure you had wheels to get to where you needed." The woman shook her head. "You set that in motion. Thank you for just being you." She handed Elena a small basket filled with baked goods. "No, I can't accept this," Elena protested, her mind flashing back to her own struggles a year ago. "I insist. Consider it a thank you gift." The woman chuckled softly, her expression sincere. Elena accepted the basket, humbled by the kindness still rolling in her direction. She shared it with her colleagues, reinforcing the bonds they were all forging through shared experiences. As the fair wrapped up, with twilight starting to paint the sky, Mr. Thompson gathered everyone to express his gratitude. "You all have shown me just how powerful a community can be together. Let's continue to support each other and transform more lives. This is only the beginning." Elena beamed as applause erupted. They had done something wonderful, and it felt right. A few days after the fair, Elena received a message from the press, wanting to cover their success. What started as a small charity blossomed into newsworthy moments. They visited the office to interview her and Mr. Thompson, capturing the essence of kindness, friendship, and growth in their touch. The article published brought in support, donations, and volunteers, pushing their mission even further. Each day felt full of potential. As Elena stood in the office, she marveled at how far she had come. Paychecks became savings, fears turned into dreams. That evening, following a successful launch of the press coverage, Elena reflected on her journey. She thought about her initial struggles and how helping others led her to find herself more fully. With each month that passed, she gained more stability and confidence. Together with Mr. Thompson, she looked at the thousands of lives they were touching, their reach expanding. As they finished working late one night and the office lights dimmed, Elena turned to him.